So my name's Karina.
I'm Summer.
I'm Gabby.
I'm Scott.
And this is our project. We also did hunger, but we did it kind of differently, so this hopefully won't be as repetitive. So this is our definition of hunger, and it says a feeling of discomfort or weakness caused by lack of food combined with desire to eat, a strong or compelling desire or craving. So we've all experienced this. I'm currently experiencing it right now because I forgot to eat breakfast, and I'm hungry right now. But the major issue that we wanted to combat was people that don't have food, that have to make rash decisions, like maybe if it's a big family, not the whole family can eat. Sometimes parents sacrifice themselves and let their kids eat for them, and just people that don't have anything to eat at all, and then that causes them to suffer in other ways. So the importance of this whole issue, first of all, we all need food to survive. We can't go past like a certain amount of days without food because we are just too weak to function. 3 days. And people suffer academically and physically without the access of food. So I'm sure that you all have been told some point in your life to like eat before a test or eat before you like play some type of sport because you just can't function as well if you're not fed. Also, hungry children do poorly in school and have lower academic achievement. So sometimes it's kind of like a common thing that if people that are more successful generally tend to are more like blessed, I guess, and they know they have food, they have the resources that they need to in order to survive. And those that don't do as successfully are lacking these things. And then every day people are making just hard decisions that they shouldn't be making, like, oh, should I pay for food or should I pay for the gas that brings me to my job that gives me money for food? Or should I pay for medical care? Should I pay for my rent? So it's just very harsh decisions that none of us should be making any day. And we have this video that puts everything in perspective, but we thought we had 10 minutes of presentation, so we're not going to play it. But it just puts everything in perspective. Personally, one of the things that really hit home to me was that it was you buy a coffee that's $5, and then those $5 can feed I don't know how many children. Or not children, just people in general. So I mean, I drink Starbucks every day, so that's I don't know how many plates that I could have been feeding. So yeah.
Okay, so Second Harvest Food Bank is where we volunteered, and Second Harvest is under Feeding America, which was instituted after the 2008 national poverty crisis that affected this country. So like a previous slide said, Orlando is ranked as the 10th most affected city in general for hunger, and so that was very interesting. But Second Harvest, it works with around 500 nonprofit agencies, and so it's pretty interesting, not just food banks, not just Boys and Girls Clubs of America, but a lot of different organizations actually receive food or help to increase awareness by partnering with Second Harvest, and that's pretty cool. They work with 6 counties in Orlando, and last year they distributed over 10 million pounds of food that we helped organize when we went. 97.4% of all of the money donated goes towards actually feeding people, and then the remaining percentage goes to funding Second Harvest. So they receive a lot of their help just by volunteers, and a lot of their staff is composed of volunteers, so that's pretty cool. Also, they aim to provide access to food and grocery products. They promote and support the development of partnering agencies. And one of their main goals, which is interesting in comparison to other food working or hunger working organizations, is that they aim to mobilize leadership. So they're really focused in getting volunteers to take it and pay it forward, and not only inform other people about hunger and the problems of hunger, but also get other people to know about the available resources hungry people. So it's
Alright, so why should we care? I've heard quite a few people say that, people that are on the streets that are homeless and they're suffering from hunger, that they've put themselves in this situation or that they're lazy. And, for some people maybe that is true, but I can guarantee you that most of the people would not choose to be there if they had the choice. And it just comes back to we're all in this thing called life together, and that could, as the previous group mentioned, that could be your uncle, that could be your brother, that could be your mom. It could be you. So it's important that we have compassion for these people and that we show them that, we're there for them, that we care. And I think more importantly is that it goes back to that we all strive for peace and stability, not only within our own lives, but in the world. especially us being leaders. And those people that are hungry, as previously mentioned as well, 1 in 9 people are hungry. Those people can't be functioning members of society if they're suffering from hunger. And if you see, as you can see in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, food and water are among the basic needs, and you can't go out and do these other things and contribute to society if you don't have those basic needs met. So it's important that we're helping meet those basic needs, and then they can further contribute themselves to society. All right, and this is just another statistic. 21,000 people die every day of hunger. It's a huge number, and 75% of those are children. So that's our future. Those children are our future, and they're dying because of something that they don't even have control over at all. And the website that's listed up there is poverty.com. We can actually show you briefly the website. Come up. And this was something that I ran into when I was doing research, and it's actually really devastating to see. It tells you how many hunger deaths have occurred this hour, and as they're occurring, you can see the pictures. So that's just something to kind of put in perspective for you that it is very real. It's something that's happening all the time. And the quote that's on there is something that I really liked, is that there are people in the world so hungry that God cannot appear to them except in the form of bread. And that just goes back to relate to the point that these people cannot be contributing members of society if they're going hungry.
Now, as mentioned by our group and the previous group, the vital impact that Second Harvest makes on the Central Florida community, because of that, someone has to do that work. Someone has to package the food that is sent out to those 500 agencies, and that is the main job that we did. We were assigned to package food, put it up, and then that is sent off to one of those 500 agencies. And so our tangible change that we made were those hundreds of pounds of food that we packaged and those hours that we worked. But kind of a cool non-tangible thing that I got out of it was one of the days specifically that we worked, we were working alongside some middle schoolers and high schoolers, and they got to see, we were wearing UCF stuff. They asked us where we went, talked about Leap Scholars, and it's just kind of a cool core principle that we've been taught as UCF students and especially Leap Scholars, that we're always representing the school and to try and provide a positive impact on the community and representing what we've done well. So I thought that was a really cool impact we made along with the tangible things that we did. And then, it was talked about in the other group, and we talked what you can do to help hunger, and it was also kind of discussed in our presentation. And we've listed a few things here, but the main two that we can really do, because I know I always see presentations like, write your local congressman. No one in here is going to write their local congressman, but two big things we can do is we can keep volunteering, like what we've been doing, like what we've been taught, keep going to stuff like this because they need volunteers. And then second, just be a global citizen and watch what you eat and don't waste. It's a really simple thing you can do that will go a long way. From the statistics that we've shown you, if everyone in this room just every day made a conscious effort not to waste food, imagine the impact we can make, and especially if we tell those around us in that ripple effect.